afternoon, people. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, or whatever, wherever time you look at this. Oh man, there's never a dull moment here in this country, man. We don't, there's for the last 10 years, and I'm saying 10 years because that's when he first got into this crap here. It has been nonstop Trump. You can't go back 8, 9, or whatever, and the news at any day and time and stuff, his name is out there. Even when the 4 years that he wasn't out there, he still dominated the news cycle. I mean, he just was there, and I don't care what day it was, night, morning, or whatever. They always had something about him. So whatever day that we he leaves us, or whatever happens to him, and he is no longer in sight, we probably would still have the news people and stuff talking about him because they they have became oh shit. How should I say it? It became it's like a part of this country now. Even though he's gonna probably be known as the worst damn president that we ever had in this country, he probably still gonna be mentioned and stuff at least every day or every other day. And as usual, last night he did his usual, stayed up at 12 o'clock at night and talked crap, said the war was over and everything is fine. We're gonna get the deal signed. And this morning, he done, he done talked about they ain't shit. They ain't nothing. They ain't gonna do this. They don't know what they talking about. We didn't agree to that. I don't know. I have no idea, people, what the heck's happening here. We, the, the streets gonna have to be opened up, people. I don't care what the heck happened or what's going on here. They're gonna have to open that thing back up because they didn't got to a point where it's became critical and stuff now. And I believe that's where he wants it at, where it's critical, and he's hoping that because it's critical, that the Iranians gonna just back up and surrender. But as usual, he done miscalculated who these folks are. Every day that this stuff gets bad, these people are getting more and more power. They're getting more and more power, and they're not going to relinquish that power to him. He's getting weaker, and they're getting stronger, and he can't see it. I saw some pictures of him the other day, Ted. He was coming out of the Knicks game the other day, and they had pictures that they hadn't shown everybody. But they almost had to carry that Negro out of that place, man. Yeah, he was holding him up because he can't walk that far. The Secret Service was surrounding him and carried him
Man,
out.
80 years old, bro.
Yeah,
You know, when you 80, wow. I mean, I'm gonna give him his props though. Me and my wife was listening to him this morning, and he was clean as a whistle. His hair was done. Now, the tape might have been done last night, obviously, but his hair was in order. His suit was clean. He had a crispy white shirt and a nice red tie, and he had his little American flag up there. I said, "Look at Trump. Trump is clean today, boy." And the people and his makeup was on properly. He didn't have too much orange shit on. So you said it the other day, propping him up.
They propping him up, man.
And
They they are
you
propping
know,
him up.
I mean, but I'm gonna have to say this: they let him talk, 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 lie, lie, lie. You know, projections. He just projecting stuff out. It's a mess. You know, that's the only thing I can say. And I think a lot of these commentators are saying the same thing. You know, they're saying, well, he said 3 weeks ago it was going to be over in 2 days. He said that 3, 4 times, they say. So we don't know what's going on. They don't know. We don't know. We know that the Iranians, whoever these people are, they know more about our politics than most Americans. They be capping on everybody.
Yep.
You see the video on Rubio? It's crazy, man. These people, man, are putting stuff out there, man, that's flat out. They talking about our country. And the thing is that they know that black people ain't got shit to do with this. So I don't know. I don't know where these people. I just know that. I look at things that are happening to these Sudan people, and the Palestinian people, and the Ukraine people, and God only knows what's happened to some of those underlings in the Middle East. But Ed, we had we had it going on, bro. United States had it going on. We were doing that soft diplomacy. We were giving money to the world people, the world health thing, and then the world trade thing. We were doing all kind of, doing that soft diplomacy and winning people over with Obama, and then back to Biden, and Biden was doing the same thing. So I don't know, man. We was negotiating with our allies and working well, and now here we are. The whole world hates us. And when I say hate, I mean this right here is not the level of hate as the normal hate, but I'm talking about they are, I don't know what the word is, disappointed, confused, don't know where we're going, this country, because the American people put this man in office. And they don't know where we're going now, bro. They see the bickering in the House and the Senate. They see what the Supreme Court has done to get this man amnesty and free will. I don't know. This is the thing, man. Because the one thing that we want in this world is we want to help the poor, to try to make life better for those people that is in drier conditions. But at the same time, we want peace too. But this religious war, man, is going to go on and on and on. Ain't nobody going to stop that shit. Ain't nobody going to stop it, bro. So we have got ourselves in a quagmire as far as I'm concerned. We're not going to, that's why he's trying to back out now. He begging. He basically begging, trying to figure out a way how he can open up that strait. He talking all that big bad stuff, but those people, man, they ain't playing. They told Donald Trump. They say, look, man, if you do any more bombing over there, you're gonna mess up. You're gonna really mess up because those people will bomb UAE. They might even start sending bombs over to Europe. You better stop playing with these people. These people don't give a shit. They don't give a shit, bro. You better stop playing with these people.
Hey, you are absolutely right in a way that he wants to be able to get the hell out of this shit, but he is expecting that outside sources will help him to get through this. But most of the folks that he's dependent upon, Ted, to get to help him out of this whole daggone dilemma is not there. They don't know what to do. Even Israel, they have no idea what the hell to do. Bibi, he doesn't have any idea now. They done got into a damn quagmire, like we saying, and they have no idea what the hell to do. All they're doing is they're waking up every day hoping that something happens that they can quietly get out of this damn thing. And Trump is hoping that, and the people around him is hoping that. The people around him is hoping that something will happen that will convince Trump that, okay, now's the time to go. But it hasn't happened. And like we were saying, the Iranians, they ain't cooperating because they don't give a crap. They know that every day that this thing goes on, that it is getting more and more and more critical that they settle this daggone thing that's going on there in the Middle East. And something's going to happen. It's got to. It's got to break because the oil supply and stuff in the world is getting critically low. And like I was saying the other day and last week, I said the only country and stuff right now and stuff who's sitting at a pretty decent spot is China because they got a huge damn reserve and stuff of oil sitting there. And if you listen to Trump sometimes, he will say stuff and his people be telling him stuff and he gets the shit all messed up. Remember yesterday, the day before yesterday, he told the news people and stuff that they have gotten 30 or 40 tankers and stuff for oil through the strait.
Yep.
The United States have gotten up through the strait. But that ain't who got the oil through the damn strait. Those 30 or 40 tankers went to China. So they told him that the oil, China done got all these daggone tankers and stuff to arrange, they moved all these tankers to. So now he done got it all screwed up in his head, and he's telling the news people and everything that, yes, we done got all this oil through. And it's not us, it's it's China who's gotten it through. If you really look at it, because the other day they were saying China is, the tankers is coming through at night and they are taking the oil out into the middle of the Indian Ocean. They're offloading the stuff over into China's teapot folks and everything, and they get no oil, as much oil as they want to keep their crop, their stuff going. But he turned around and said, "Yeah, we got it, we got it." And they're looking at him and saying, "There's something wrong with him. He's crazy because we ain't gotten this stuff through. Well, maybe the Americans are getting this stuff through, and they're not. That was Iran who was getting the stuff through, and it's going to China. Same amount of tankers, millions of barrels, hundreds of millions of barrels.
And when he said that,
Yeah,
when he,
and
when,
yeah, he's thinking that it is the United States, but it's not. It's another country is getting that stuff. He got it all screwed up in his head. You can tell he's all messed up, Ted. Those people who are standing around him while he's sitting in that damn chair are nervous as whores in church. They are hoping and praying that he can get through whatever talk that he's got going on without him breaking down mentally in front of all those people. And they are there. And I'm pretty sure they've already got a plan of attack going. If he gets off too bad, if something real bad happens, they're going to rush all those news people out and they're going to get him. They're going to cover him up so he does not fall out or people do not see him going. This is why he's standing around him. And they're standing close around him. Watch him. They standing right there with him to make sure that if he goes too far off and the news people see that he done gone absolutely nuts or said something wrong, they can run him out. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And move him and stuff away and protect him again. And you're right. They're making sure that he stays clean and his diaper ain't full. if he dies. I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't be saying that, but that is the truth. He got his diaper on. You don't want to get too full. Oh my goodness! But that's where we are. They are protecting him, Ted. I'm telling you, something's going to happen here, and they're going to eventually be able to let someone take over and keep him protected, almost like Nancy Reagan did with Ronald Reagan his last couple of years in the White House. Nobody knew it because she kept this stuff real tight. But Reagan was full of full of it. His mind was gone, and she protected him. We didn't find out until after he had died that this stuff was going on. And probably the same thing is going on with Trump. People are sitting around, they're trying to protect him. His wife ain't there to protect him, but the people around him are. And they're making sure that he stays clean, that they dress him up and everything, and they're getting ready. And I know they got all kind of people around him and stuff to watch him at any moment in time. And you notice JD is getting more and more independent.
Ain't nobody gonna vote for that man.
They ain't got to vote for him. They ain't got to vote for him. He's going to be the president. Trump ain't going to be able to stay in there. Trump not going to make it to his next 2.5 years. He's not going to make it.
Well, the good Lord only knows that.
Yeah, he's not going to make it. They can't keep him pumped up with drugs. His body pumped up with drugs like that. His body can't stand it. He's not going to be able to do it. They already hired him out for it. They hit him out for 8 days. He didn't come out, didn't say a damn thing for 8 damn days. They were pumping him up and getting him ready to come back out because they know he was screwed up in the head. When you got dementia and Alzheimer's, that's what happens. There are periods of times and stuff when your shit is all messed up, and then you'll come back for a little bit. One of these times, he gonna be gone, and we're gonna be able to see him. he won't be coming back. Sorry to say that, people, but that's the absolute truth. That is what's going to happen. There ain't nothing we can do about it. So, like we said, hopefully the thing goes well and they can transition themselves and something gotta happen, Ted. Like I said, we can't make this. There's no way we can do this. We got to have some oil coming out of the Middle East. They're already saying that Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Bahrain, all of them are banding together and they're sending one of their representatives over to Iran and talking to them and trying to make a deal. They don't want them to continue to be bombing their their country and stuff and everything because as soon as this thing is over, the world is going to be begging for oil, and they're going to have to pump out oil, man, like crazy to replenish our supply. They're going to make a lot of money. So back here on the home front, our Republican counterparts, Mr. Harvey, is becoming, as the days go by, they are getting more and more and more antsy in the pants about this midterm. They are Republicans now who have emboldened themselves. John Cronin from Texas has already predicted that it's going to be a landslide for the Democrats and that Trump's last 2 years in office is going to be horrible. He come out and said it. He is going to be horrible for him. We ain't got no choice. He probably knows it. And you see that the House has been shut down again for 2 weeks. They got 20 Republicans that's voting against MAGA Mike. 20 of them. So he said, forget it. I'm going to shut the House down for 2 weeks. So they're gone until the 23rd of June. If they go against him after the 23rd of June, he'll probably shut it down again. So we may not even have nothing going on in Congress until the midterms election. Nothing, no business at all going on. So what are our Democrats going to do? I don't know. We shall see. We shall see what the heck's going to happen. I don't know. I have not heard a whole lot from the minority leader from the House. I haven't heard a whole lot from Hakeem Jeffries at all. I don't know what the heck he's doing, what he's got planned, what's on his mind, but he has not said anything. He hasn't had any news conferences. He hasn't had nothing. So hopefully something's going on behind the scenes, people, and the Democrats are starting to get themselves ready for the midterm election. Hopefully, we shall see. I'm hoping and praying and stuff that they got a plan going on and that they're going to implement it, and that no matter what the Republicans do and everything, they are going to be get their shit together. So we shall see. I think they're hoping that in Iowa now they got a pretty good senatorial candidate that they might be able to win that seat. They're hoping that even though the gentleman there in Maine is having some problems and stuff, marital problems, I guess, or some other problems going on, that he might be able to slide through and take out the lady up there in Maine, the senator there. So, and they figure Ohio and stuff that Jared Brown is going to probably take Ohio. Things are looking good for him there. And like I said earlier, things are looking real good for Illinois. They're gonna keep that seat. Dick Durbin done resigned, and he retired, and looks like the lieutenant governor and stuff and everything is probably going to win their seat hands down because I don't see anybody out there who's against her. Nobody. So we got at least three pickups there. And for some reason or another, Ted, nobody's saying a whole lot about Texas.
They're supposed to be up 3 points.
But they ain't saying a whole lot about them. They ain't out. The Democrats ain't bringing that up. For some reason or another, they're not bringing it up. They still afraid that the Republicans and stuff might just spend enough damn money and stuff to get Paxton and stuff into that seat because they don't think Tallarico is strong enough to do it. Did you see what happened with Act Blue?
No,
You know who Act Blue is, don't you?
no.
They are the organization and stuff who takes care of all the donations for Democratic candidates. They receive a lot of money through donations and stuff come in to them, and they are the vehicle that sends the money and stuff over to those candidates. So when you donate your money, put your money out there, it goes into Act Blue, and then Act Blue distributes it to the candidates. Well, the Attorney General in Texas, who is the candidate for the U.S. Senate in Texas, filed a lawsuit against them. He filed a lawsuit in Massachusetts because I guess that's where Act Blue is based. Well, yesterday the judge threw out the lawsuit. You don't have no lawsuit, even though he's saying that Act Blue is doing something illegal and everything as far as the contributions that are coming into Act Blue, and they aren't giving, uh, they're acting unfairly to the people in Texas. Some bullshit lawsuit. Well, the judge threw it out. But guess what happened? The president of Act Blue got called before the House Oversight Committee. She's a black woman. And the Republicans tried to rake girlfriend over the coals. And she kept telling them, I plead the fifth. They said she pled the fifth about 20 times. And every time they asked her that question, she said, I plead the fifth. So I have no idea what's going on or what they're examining or what's going to come out of that. But she kept pleading the fifth. She didn't answer hardly any questions at all. She said, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. Might incriminate me. So hopefully they don't destroy Act Blue because, like I said, they are the one of the vehicle and stuff that most of our donations and stuff go through for the Democratic candidates. Most of the money does not go directly to the candidates; it goes to Act Blue. Anyway, uh,
Ed, I wish I can give you some news that was prevalent or that was truthful because we don't know what the hell is going on
we
in the
don't.
business world.
We don't.
Because,
Oh, wait, yes we do. Yes we do. You got some big news, don't you? I know you heard it. We got a trillionaire.
oh yeah, well they're going to investigate him because this is a rip off right there.
He's a
He just
trillionaire.
promoting IPO.
Right. He done already got what? $75 billion already committed to him to the IPO. to SpaceX. I guess that's SpaceX that he's promoting. He's putting out there public.
Well, that's where I was going. And the thing is that I'm trying to figure out, it's two things that's happening right now that people are resisting, but they can't stop it. That's the data centers and these concentration camps. They are building them all over the country, both of them. People are putting money into this. The Now the corporations are building the databases. They're spending their money, and the government is spending their money, putting these billions of dollars in, and they're snatching people off the street. These ICE people are just putting people in jail. And we don't have, or I shouldn't say we, but there are people that's out there that's trying to do something about it, but it's a slow process because they got all the power. This is why I don't see a sense of urgency. And that's why I said that a lot of the Democrats are complicit because there is no sense of urgency. There's no sense of urgency, bro. To be this humane to these brown people is unheard of. They say they have thousands and thousands of children in these concentration camps. They're not doing what Obama did. He sent them back to wherever they came from. But some of these people has been here for 20 years, 30 years, their whole life. This is crazy, man. I mean, all I gotta say is, man, it's hard for me to really get this around just to really think about this stuff because, see, we're not getting any information. The news people are not out there. And the people that's out there that is watching all of this stuff going on, they don't have, they're not going, they're scared of them or whatever. Some of them, you go on the internet, you try to find out what's going on. These people are resisting, but they're not putting enough information out nationally. How horrific this is. This is some horrific shit, bro, that's going on. They did that little story about the little 5-year-old boy, and then eventually, with some of the politicians' help, they got him out.
Yep.
That was in Minnesota. But man, how many of these kids that's out there like that? I don't understand what's going on, bro. This right here this is unheard of, and we are allowing this thing to happen. And these Congress people don't have any. They don't have any power, bro.
Money,
They
money,
have
money,
no power.
money,
The
money, money,
senators, they don't have no power.
money, 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 money. And they our Congress people right now, are afraid.
What they're afraid of is,
They saw what happened in New Jersey,
yeah,
and that woman who they indicted is still being going through the legal process, and it is costing her a lot of money, personal money out of her own pocket for attorneys and stuff and everything to fight that crap. So the rest of these folks out there, they're probably saying to themselves, we can't afford to do this. So who's ever in those facilities and stuff and everything, if their families aren't helping, aren't out there creating havoc and stuff around the outside of these places and stuff, that they're housing these people, that they have nobody is out there to help them. And I'm pretty sure that the Democrats are probably saying, well, we're going to wait until the midterm election stuff happens, which is not, what, 5 months away now? And they're
By
hoping
that
that,
time, man, they didn't be put away
and they,
two, three
and they
hundred
could,
thousand more people.
a lot of those little children probably going to be dead. A lot of them probably will be transported out to another country or whatever. And you can tell, Ted, that there's got to be something else, because them people just gave ICE $70 billion.
70 billion.
They gave them $70 billion more. Congress passed it, the Senate and the House, and you know Trump gonna sign the bill. So they got $70 more billion that they can deal with to do whatever you want to do with those
All I
folks.
gotta say, the American people has got a whole lot of blood on their hands, bro. You know, I'm gonna say this. This is a quote from Dick Gregory. He said, "White people is the nastiest people in the world. Evil, nastiest people in the world. Now, are all of them nasty? No. Are all of them evil? No. But the majority are." And I'm gonna use my man Zoe Williams on KBLA. I'm gonna give him his props. Very smart brother from the hood, and he said that the white folks or the European type people are individuals. We are black people, are collective, meaning that we are concerned about our group. But each white person is only concerned about their own self. Now they have their own little groups and what have you, to cause a habit. But for the most part, they are individuals. They don't think of themselves as together, but they are individuals. And that's their whole plan. They are individuals. That's the reason why, each person that is white, or they classify themselves white, which we know that white is the concept. But, I don't classify no white person as white person. They call themselves white. But, I look at people what they are, where they came from. But the point is that they can be individualistic. We have to be collective. And he used the example, you remember when we was coming up, especially in Chicago. I don't know about, not so much Pembroke, or maybe it was Pembroke, but I know that if I walked down the street and they saw me do something bad, as soon as I could get home, my parents already know about it. I have seen kids do something bad, and somebody will come outside and spank that boy. As soon as he get home, he get another spanking. That's collective. White folks don't do that. So that's our problem right now. We are, and according to Zoe Williams, he said that we've been traumatized so much because of from starting from slavery on that we have so many wounds that have not been healed. We can't really come together. And I said, you know what, that might be true. Because a lot of us has been traumatized some kind of way. And how do we have been collectively voting for the Democratic Party. I heard come right out of his mouth, Stephen A. said, all the black people should vote for the Republicans so that the Republicans, the Democrats won't take us for granted. And that shows you his astute as far as how much he knows about politics. Nothing. Because we just had the largest black representation, black caucus, in our time. The biggest, the largest. We got people being nominated and voted as senators, Ed. We got how many black senators?
Not a lot.
Huh?
Not a
You
lot.
say
You
not a
talking about
lot, but
male and female, right?
yeah.
Well,
Well, we got two that I can think of as male and two that are female.
and one of them's Republican.
Who's well, okay, that's
The guy
five
from
then.
South Carolina.
Well, that's five. Five
And
black senators.
yeah, out of 100.
That's true, but how many times have we had five black senators? Never. And the thing is, the reason why that this whole voting fiasco and this gerrymandering and all of that's been going on because we were growing, and not only were we getting elected in the black community, but we was getting elected in the mixed community. And this is the problem because we are playing the game that they play politically, and we were growing. So they're trying to stop our growth in the political system. Because once we get a hold of that money, then we're going to distribute it correctly. And that's what they're afraid of. That $5 trillion that comes into this country every year, and the same amount of probably about another 5 trillion comes from all kinds of government charges and fees throughout the country. That's the reason why they don't want us in governorships. Because once we start getting in there, and the sad part about it, they persuaded these Latinos that we were the enemy. We were supposed to be drawing a coalition with these people, and they turned against us. They turned their back on us. because they thought right is right.
Well, I think we need to take some responsibility for that also too, because a lot of our folks who are in power and everything turn their backs on the Hispanics also.
When
Right when that when our era was turning to where the minorities were going to become the majority, uh, right before Trump was elected and everything, uh, we knew that we were going to be the majority. And I know a lot of Hispanic folks and everything came over to our side and everything. They said, well, we're going to get together and we're going to do something. Well, the folks that were in power and everything did not respond to that. Man, I remember these folks, man, these ladies and stuff, and most of them were women who were becoming very, very powerful in the Hispanic community. And they were coming on these shows and stuff, the MSNBC shows and all that, doing their things, saying we're going to get together with people of color and stuff, and we're going to start doing something. Well, black folks never showed up.
really,
Yeah,
I thought I was keeping a pretty good eye on that, and
yeah.
it seems to me that it was the black people that the Hispanics were the ones that sort of kind of pulled back.
It was the black folks who didn't to turn their
Really,
backs on.
that's news to me, bro.
It was black folks who did it right before Trump came into power. That's what happened. They were coming on. Obama had been elected the president and everything, and everybody thought that hey, the Hispanics and the blacks are going to get together, and they were going to become a very powerful group. And most of these black organizations and stuff and everything did not reach out to the Hispanics and everything to start anything. And anytime the Hispanics came out and put their hand out, the black folks never responded to them because, oh man, I hate to say this, we we are like crabs in a damn barrel. We don't like to have other people to take over or to get us to power. And when some of the black folks and stuff saw that the Hispanics and stuff was starting to come up and getting a lot of power and everything, and they got jealous and everything and said, "Oh no, we ain't letting these Hispanics and stuff take over our spot." Just that jealousy and stuff here, and they stopped working with them.
Mm.
Our folks stopped working with them.
Well, you
There
would
was a
know
street.
because
It was a streak going on out there, and I remember this distinctly because I remember the Hispanics and stuff were coming on, and they were coming on to Rachel Maddow's show. They were coming on to a couple of them. They had this Hispanic lady and stuff and everything. She had a show. She didn't have a show then, but she was very, very strong there. Matter of fact, she eventually got her a show. I forget the lady's name, and she was the spearhead and stuff of trying to get together with the black folks and stuff so they can become a powerful group. And man,
well, that was our mistake,
yeah, that was our
and
mistake because we didn't respond to it because of the jealousy in our community. And we don't need them. You know we don't need them, and we looked down upon them and drug them down. And Hispanic people and stuff didn't. They said, "Oh shoot, we better." They quietly backed away,
well, that's
and I
news to
and,
me.
and I was and I
I
knew
thought it was the
then,
other way around.
yeah, and I knew then and stuff was, hey, we making a big mistake. And they're going to be going
Well,
over to the Republicans.
maybe you're right, but all the information that I had been receiving on TikTok and Facebook and all these other social outlets, there were a lot of Latinos dogging us. and they were rooting for Trump.
because we gave them up. We never reached out to them.
Well, they're not a
They
monolithic
never.
people. You got different types of Latinos. All kinds of, like 20 different over 20 different kinds of Latino people.
Look at there's examples and stuff out there right now. Look at the AOC and how she responds to her black counterparts. She's, you know, it's subtle. She doesn't give them as uh, much attention and stuff as she does the white folks and her own people. Even though they're in Congress together, they fighting the same fight. Look at her sometime. Watch what she does. That's the attitude and stuff now of them and stuff and everything. We don't fight together right. Fight together
Well,
with confidence.
Ed, think about this though, man. You know how this works. You know how much money you get in your district. They all fighting for the pennies, nickels, and dimes. Instead of they all coming together, and I'm talking about blacks, Asians, Latino people. They don't realize that in order for them, someone has to rise up. And I guess maybe that's the problem. Who's going to be the leader? Who's going to be the spokesperson? But, they have a Hispanic, or I don't know what kind of caucus they call it, but it's a Latin caucus. And they got a lot of people, bro. And the problem with that is that some of them walk up to the podium in the news when they do their news, talk to the reporters. They're talking in Spanish, talking to the American people on C-SPAN, talking in Spanish. This is the thing, man. The whole thing is that, and this is just my opinion, and I might be wrong on this, but a lot of the Latinos, and as long as Asians too, they don't assimilate. Now, maybe that might be a good thing for them, but it's not a good thing for us. They have countries that they can rely on. We don't have a country. The only country we got is this. See, they can go back home, or they have relatives in other countries. If they from wherever they're from, Cuba, Mexico, you know, Belize, whatever, and a lot of these different people, they are Latin, but they come from other countries. They've just been here their whole life.
I'm
So,
I'm I'm listening to you, and what you were saying is what those our people were saying, and the Hispanics didn't understand that. The Latin people and stuff in this country do not understand that because we don't understand them, and they don't understand us.
yeah,
And
well,
somebody,
that's the whole thing.
somebody, somebody has to reach out, and they have to bring those groups together, and they have
Well,
to
I
be
think I
there has
think
to
the
be
whole
a
thing
coming to Jesus moment.
here's the whole thing is that they don't understand, and the sacrifice, the work that black people's done.
But you have to understand, Ted. If they don't understand it, then somebody has to reach out and try to work those things and stuff out and be consistent with it and be able to look them in the face and them be to look us in the face and stuff. And both sides have to be willing to come together and do that and understand each other and
Okay, I'll give you a
understand that
classic
there's some
example here.
shortfall.
Right now, we got a Latino and a black running for LA. They're going to run off. 34%, probably more than that in LA. More like 42% of the people that live in LA is Latino.
Hmm.
There's less than 1 million people that are black that live in California.
Hmm.
And you're talking over 40 million people.
Hmm.
So there it is right there. Karen Bass is going to have to struggle to show that she's more intellectual, more savvy than this lady. I heard her talk today. She sounded good. She sounded good, bro.
She always sounded good, even when she was in Congress. That's why she became the mayor of Los Angeles
No, I'm not
because
talking
they,
about Bass. I'm talking about the lady, the Latino lady.
well,
She sounded good. She was a councilman,
yeah.
and she sounded good. She was saying the right words. Everything was right on. Everything was right on point. And and Bass has got a fight on their hands because Latinos as a whole, because most of the people that's in California are Mexicans.
We understand that.
So
To become the last time she became mayor, she got Latino votes. And I still believe that, and most people and stuff in the Democratic Party believe that Bass is probably going to still become mayor again. She's still
we'll
they,
see.
she's still going to be the mayor. She
Well,
has,
she won't be the, like, I mean, she won't be the first Latino that's been mayor.
yeah, yeah. But we hell shit. What that man's name? Anthony Acahula, or whatever his name was. He was Latino. They just had what, two of them, didn't they? Anthony something and whatever he is. I don't know where he's at now and stuff and everything. But he was the mayor for what, 2 years and stuff there in Los Angeles. So the Hispanics and stuff, they got California is their state,
Yeah, they
but
took over.
yeah, but they also but the Hispanics and stuff in California also know that they are Democrats and stuff, and they are different kind of people and stuff there than it is in Texas. The Texas Hispanics and stuff is totally different than the people in California. Totally different.
That's true.
The Republicans have them tied up there in Texas. They got them tied up.
Well, explain to me when you say tied up, what do you mean?
That means that the Hispanics are gonna vote for the Republicans no matter what, knowing what Trump has done to them. They still gonna vote for a Republican.
Hmm.
They got them tied up there in Texas.
That sound like
That's
that
that's why
sound like
that's why
that
that's
sound
why
like Mississippi here.
yeah, it's up to colors different. That they brown and they black in Mississippi and then they brown in Texas. They're gonna vote for him. I don't believe Tallarico is going to win that daggone election to be the U.S. senator in Texas. Paxton's gonna beat him,
Well,
even though
people,
even though Tallarico is a Democrat. They
and he's a white guy.
and he's white. He's gonna lose. I believe he's gonna lose. He gonna put up a good fight, but those Hispanics are gonna vote for Paxton, the Republican.
Well, the blacks and the Latinos are 40% of the population
Absolutely. But guess what? There ain't a whole lot of black people going to come out and vote today in Texas. Not a whole lot of them. He ain't go. He's not Tellerico is not reaching out to those black folks. He ain't reaching out to them. He wants. He reaching out to those Republicans, trying to get them to vote for him.
Well,
Now, if he was really going to have a damn good chance, his numbers would be a hell of a lot higher than what they are now. They know that Paxton is a fool. The candidate he's running against, he is an absolute fool. He is a crook, a thief, and the election is still close. He's within 3 points of it.
well, people, you get what you get.
Yeah, they're gonna get what they get. That's the way it is there in Texas. Those the Hispanics are gonna vote for the Republican, and he ain't gonna get a whole lot of black people out to vote for him, which he should be reaching out to right now, but he's not. He ain't gonna win that without them black folks,
Yeah.
and he hasn't realized that yet. He realized it. So that's why most of the folks are quiet as a rat peeing on cotton. Have you noticed that Jasmine hasn't said anything about the election and stuff since she lost the primary?
Nothing.
Nothing at all about Texas politics since she lost the primary. She left. She's over there politicking for Javier in California, and probably going to be running the race for a lot of other people and stuff. And she's not going to be in Texas. She didn't say nothing. She opened her mouth. Anyway, people, well, what's your final word, Ted? We way past our time. But I enjoyed this show after today. I really did. We got a lot accomplished there. I think we did.
Well, I just want to say this to the people: you get what you get.
You do. You're gonna
If you
get
don't
what you
vote,
get. You don't vote. And you don't when you go out there and vote, and I didn't realize this, Ted, that and we saw that in some of the other elections around the country that people voted for the person at the top of the ticket, but they didn't go down to the down ballot and everything and go to the whole ballot and vote for the people on the downside. They just voted for people on the top, and that's it.
because that's all they hear about, the people on the
Yeah,
top.
yeah. But you got to go back down that down ballot.
You got to vote for the judges. You got to vote for
Absolutely,
all of it. The
absolutely,
water person, all of that.
absolutely, absolutely. Your local folks who was on the school board, all of
Commissioners.
them. Yeah, commissioners, all of them. You got to go down that ballot, the whole ballot, and vote. You don't just hit the top thing and stuff and say, oh, okay, fine, I voted for them. And I didn't realize that was going on until they brought it up and stuff the other day. They said they
The
went back and
point
they looked.
is, when you don't have civics the way we were taught civics, and not to say that they was teaching it all that great, but you have to know the history of this country.
And you have to realize that elections matter, even local. Politics, like the old saying said, politics is local. Deal with your people locally. Put your people locally that you know going to work for you,
I don't
because
know what it's going to take
their
here.
money, their money trickles down from the federal government into the state government, and then the state government takes the money and they distribute it to the local folks. It don't come directly to you; it comes to the state, and then it goes down into your local folks. And the local people decide where that money is being spent. They decide if they want to put some new streets in, or they decide if they want to put new water lines in. They decide and stuff if they want to put sidewalks and stuff in your community. They decide if they people and stuff in the public works and stuff and everything is out there keeping the streets clean. They're the ones and stuff who go out there and pick the garbage up out there on the main streets and make sure that your grass is being cut and everything and it looks real nice and stuff out there on your thoroughfare. We go into our community and stuff and there's garbage everywhere. Grass ain't been cut. Public Works ain't out there doing that. They in there on the daggone phone and stuff, bull crapping, down at the uh, public works and stuff and everything, and they laying back and they ain't doing nothing instead of getting out there cleaning up the streets. Because the first thing that people come into your community look at and stuff and everything, how the place look. If it's clean, is it nice? Is everything fixed up nice? If they got good vegetation out there, the grass growing. Go to your neighborhoods and see, Ted, you'll see. Grass is all hanging all over the streets and stuff and everything. Ain't nobody cut and trim the grass down and stuff and everything. Ditches and stuff, there, grass growing all up in there. Shit so high, man, you can't even see nothing. Ain't nobody give a crap about it. And that's us. Now, I know damn well that they got some lawn tractors or something and everything that they can get out there and put them people out there to work and stuff, put them a fucking hat on their goddamn head and shit and everything to keep the sun off of them and say, get y'all butt out of this daggone on public works and get out there and start doing something to clean this place up and make them accountable and stuff for what goes on out there. And your council people and the mayor and all the rest of them should be out there in the community and stuff instead of sitting back and everything, la dee da with their cigars and their goddamn mouth and ain't worried about shit. I've been elected, so I don't care. You need to get off your butt, get out there and make sure your people is doing their job. You in charge now. You don't just come to the council meeting and stuff and sit up there and say, yes, I'm a council person. You got a job to do. You got elected. Get out there. There's a whole lot that they can do, Ted, as a city council or on a county board.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm sorry, people. I'm on my soapbox again. But that's what I have to say. Make sure, people, that you vote for your down ballot when you go out and vote, not just the people on the top, not just for the senatorial candidates or the governor. Everybody down there to the bottom. Vote for them. They deserve your vote, just like the people on the top do. And like you just said, your judges determine what happens to you when you come to court. He's sitting on that bench and he's looking at you and you ain't voted for him. You don't care. My grandson got into an accident, hit the lady. The lady drove off with a green light and stopped in the middle of the daggone street, and he was behind her. Bam, he hit her in the back because she stopped. He had to go to court. The police officer gave him a ticket, but you can understand why he let it back. So he gets to court, and the judge and stuff sits there and says, I don't care what's going on, the policeman is right. So when his time came to walk up there in front of the judge and everything, the judge didn't even want to listen to him. He said, I don't care what you got to say, young man. Well, he said, Your Honor, I'm trying to explain something to you. He said, I don't care. Do you want to go back and see our arbitrator? And he said, yes, I guess I will have to go back and see the arbitrator. Guess what happened? They wrote the ticket out and they put the wrong name on the ticket.
Mm.
They put his name down. The guy who they put his name down, his name was Tyler, but it was something else. The last name was something else. And they pulled the record up of the guy who they put the name and stuff down there on and everything. And he been in jail at least 4 or 5 times, been locked up. He got
Mm.
the worst driving record of anybody around there. So they looked at that and said, "Oh, you got a bad driving record." And he finally had to tell the lady and stuff, who was the arbitrator and stuff and everything for the courts. Uh, Ma'am, that's not me. Oh, no, no, that's you. You got a bad record. No, they're showing right here you got a bad record. He said, "Ma'am, look at the name and look at my driver's license and look at the picture." She looked down there. The man's name who was down there was 6'2" and weighed and weighed almost 300 pounds, and he was white. My grandson is black. So they, so the negotiator said, "What? Oh, oh, oh!" And she actually, the court person and stuff, to go and pull the records up of these two people. And and he brought the record in there and everything, and the picture of the man whose name was on the ticket was white. He still had to pay $115. This shit is crazy. We'll talk to you people later. Bye bye.